Hello everyone. Okay, so in this session, I'm going to continue our problem solution discussion. Where in the previous lecture we have discussed three problems. Where in this sessions we will continue the another problem solutions. Okay, so basically in these problems we will deal with the brace column that you can see in this diagram. Okay, let's look in detail on the equation. Okay, so basically the column ABC has a uniform rectangular cross section and is braced in the XZ plane at its midpoint C, as you can see in this diagram. So the length of column is 2 meters. So it is braced at the mid height of a column, specifically at a point C. So this column is loaded by the load P equal to 40 kilonewton. So this is a cross section of the column. In addition to that, you can see that the axis of the column. So this is a y axis, this is the x axis, and the vertical axis is referred to the z axis. Okay, so in this problem we will solve for two things. Okay, the first is to determine the ratio B over D, for which the factor of safety is the same with respect to buckling in the XZ and the YZ plane. So the B over D is referred to the dimension of a column. So we want to get the ratio of the dimensions of a column, okay, based on the rectangular cross section. So the second things that we will solve in this equation is we will calculate the size of the column for which a factor of safety is equal to 2.5 in each plane, and E is equal to 200 GPa. Okay, so let's discuss in detail for the first part. Okay, so to solve the part A, so in this problem, so we need to draw the buckling shape of column for two planes, okay, which is the XZ plane and the YZ planes, where you can see in this solution. Okay, so this is for XZ plane and this is for the YZ plane. Okay, so before I go to this page, so I would like to explain on the on some of things that not given in the question. Okay, so what you can see in this part A, so given they have a hint that you need to use in order to have one equation. Okay. So the hints here, you can look at this sentence. Okay. The factor of safety is the same with respect to buckling in the XZ and the YZ planes. So you need to translate this sentence into equation. Okay, into an equation. Sorry. Okay, so this is the equation that I'm based on the part A, so that I have translated into from sentence to equation. So and we denote this equation as equation 1, where the f of s in xz plane is equal to f of s in the yz plane. Okay, so we will detail out this particular equation, since we want to appear the dimension of column, so which is referred to the B and D. Okay, so we know that in a previous lecture, so the critical buckling stress is equal to PCR divided by A. So the critical buckling load divided by the area. And from the FOS equations, so actually we can get this particular equation where we can detail out that the PCR is equal to P multiplied by FOS. Okay, so by substituting this equation of PCR equal to P multiplied by FOS into this equation, okay, so you will get this equation where the sigma CR is equal to P FOS divided by the area, where we have defined that the P FOS is equal to PCR. Okay, and substitute the equation of Euler's formula, okay, into this equation. So you will get this form of equation where pi square EI multiplied with the FOS divided by the A LE square. Okay, so we know that the I over A is referred to the R square, which is R is a radius of gyration. And by simplify this equation, okay, so you will get this particular equation, okay, where the sigma CR is equal to pi square E over LER square multiplied with the FOS. Okay, so this is and this is basically you can modify this equation or simplify this equation into this particular form, and we denote these equations as equation 2. Okay, so basically this is a general equation, and this can be this general equation can be in XZ plane and it can be in YZ plane, where you can further look into the next step. Okay, so by applying equation 1, okay, from equation 1 and apply equation 2 that we have defined just now, okay, this one. So you will get this particular equation, okay, where the XZ planes, okay, the equation 2 for the XZ plane equal to the in a YZ plane. Okay, simplify these equations, so you will get the third equation, and here you can see that the slenderness ratio in XZ planes is equal to the slenderness ratio in YZ plane, because we know that in the lecture that we have discussed in detail, the LE over R is referred to the slenderness ratio. Okay, so we will look into detail on the into both of the planes. So for this particular equation 3, so let's look on the XZ plane first. Okay, so basically XZ planes is a plane where, in other words, this is plane the column is buckled about the YY axis. Okay, so in XZ planes, the column is buckled about the YY axis. Okay, by looking on this particular diagram. So this is a XZ plane. So the column is buckled about the YY axis. So this is the direction of buckling about the YY axis. Okay, so in these planes, you can see that they have brace. Okay, normally in a frame structure, the brace is come from the beam. Okay, and you can see that in this diagram, so the buckling shape of a column, so it's in form it is in form of a double curvature. So where you can see that they have upper curvature and the lower curvature. Okay, and right here, so we will make it this particular slenderness ratio, okay, in to be this particular form, so which is 0.5 multiplied with square root of 12 multiplied with L over B. So we will make it this slenderness ratio in these planes to be in terms of L and B. Okay, because our objective is to get the ratio of a cross section of a rectangular shape. Okay, so and we know that LE is referred to effective length or buckling length of column. So R is the radius of gyration. Okay, so let's take a look on the effective length. Okay, so basically the effective length in this column can be in terms of upper and lower, where you can see that we have LE for upper is equal to 1.0 LU, LE for lower is equal to 0.7 LL. So basically LU is an LL, which is a L upper, and L lower is equal to L divided by 2, where the L is a total length of column. Okay, so we know that the brace is located at the mid height. Okay, so due to that, the LU and the LL is equal to 0.5 L. Okay, so and you can see that we need to define the LE upper and LE lower. So for the upper part, okay, of brace, So the conditions support is a pin. Okay, so this is a pin, and the brace we consider this as a pin. Okay, so for the pin condition, so we have defined in the previous lecture the LE is equal to 1.0 L. Okay, meanwhile at the lower part of a brace, so the support condition is pin fixed. Okay, and for the pin fixed conditions, so the LE is given by 0.7 L. So in this case is L lower. Okay, so by that we can define in detail for the LE upper and the LE lower. So based on this equation, okay, where for the LE upper is equal to 1.0 multiplied by the LU. So we have defined that the LU is equal to 0.5 L. So and by that the LE upper is equal to 0.5 L. So on the other hand, for the LE lower, so we have defined that the LE lower is equal to 0.7 LL. So and again the LL is equal to 0.5 L by substituting this value, this equation into this LE lower. So you will get that the LE lower is equal to 0.35 L. Okay, so since the LE upper is larger than the LE lower, so the LE upper will be chosen for our effective length, okay, for the exact plate. So the LE for this plane is equal to 0.5 L. Okay, we have defined the effective length. Now we want to define the radius of gyration for this plane. Okay, so we know that the radius of gyration can be obtained by using this equation, where the R squared equal to I over A. Okay, but in this case, exact plane is about the bulking of column about the YY axis. Okay, so and we know that the I is referred to the second moment of area or second moment of inertia, and that particular term can be obtained by using this equation, which is a dB cube over 12, and we know that the area of cross section is given by this dimension, so B multiplied by 3, and by substituting this parameter, the I and the A, into this radius of gyration equation, so you will get that R is equal to B over square root of 12. Okay, so they have an error in this expression, so this is supposed to be RY, not R square Y. So I hope that you can note this mistake. Okay, and by substituting the term of LE and RY that you have defined into the slenderness ratio equations, so where LE is equal to 0.5 L, the RY is equal to B over square root of 12. Simplify this equation, so you will get the equation 4, which is referred to the LE over R in the XZ plane. Okay, so we have done for these planes, and so we will do the same thing for the YZ plane. Okay, so in the YZ plane, you can see that in this diagram, so this is a buckling shape for the YZ plane. So in other words, this is a buckling. This column is buckled about the X axis. Okay, so the effective length for this column is equal to 0.7 L. So we only have one single curvature. Okay, so and radius of gyrations for the for these planes, which is about the XX, so it's equal to IX over A. So and I is equal to BD cube over 12, and the A remain the same, which is a B multiplied with D. And by substituting the Rx and the Ix into the slenderness ratio equation, which is referred to these planes, this equation, LE over R in a YZ plane. So you will get the equation 5. Okay, so simplifies all the things. So you will get that the LE over R in the YZ plane is equal to 0.7 multiplied with the square root of 12 multiplied with the L over D. So we can see that in equation 4 and in equation 5, the dimension of column have been appeared. Okay, so and that we can proceed by substituting the equation 4 and 5 into equation 3. Okay, so where the equation 3 that we have defined here. Okay, so by substituting those equations, you can see that the B is equal to 0.714D. So basically we have solved for the part A. Okay, let's move to the part B. Okay, so in the part B, we need to calculate the size of a column for a given value of F or S, okay, which is equal to 2.5, and E, which is a Young modulus of a column, is equal to 200 JPa. Okay, let's discuss in detail on this particular part by looking on the solution. Okay, so basically for part B, they have two ways to solve this particular equation, where you can use the buckling stress equation or buckling load equation. So if you use a buckling stress equation, so you can see that the step is quite long, and if you use the critical buckling load or the Euler's equation, so you can see that the solutions is lesser, means that the step is lesser than the using the buckling stress equation. So I don't want to explain the solution based on the buckling stress approach. So I hope that you can figure out by yourself. So I'm just explaining based on the critical buckling load equation. Okay. So we know that the critical buckling load equation is given by this equation. Okay. Okay. So we have a pi square EI over LE square. So basically, you can solve this problem based on the x-axis axis or based on the y-y axis. In other words, it can be based on the xz planes or yz plane. But in the solutions, I have done by using the x-axis plane. Okay, so meaning that you need to find out the value of I in based on the x-axis planes, x-axis axis, and for the effective length, you need to do the same thing in the x-axis plane. So the PCR value basically is equal to 100 kN, which is you can get it by using this equation F or S multiplied by P, because the P is given in the equation, which is equal to 40 kilonewton that you can see in this diagram. Okay, the P is 40 kilonewton, so that's why you can see that the PCR is equal to 100 kilonewton. Okay, for the effective length in a x-axis axis, in other words, in a x in the yz plane. Okay, so the LE is equal to 0.7 L that we have defined just now, and by substituting the L equal to 2 meters, so you can see that the LE in x-axis axis is equal to 1.4 meter. Okay, so for the second moment of area, so in a x-axis axis, so the equation is equal to BD cubed over 12. Okay, so and we have defined that the B is equal to 0.714D in the part A. So by substituting that equation into this equation of moment of inertia, second moment of inertia, so you will get this form of equation, which is 0.714D to the power of 4 divided by 12. Okay, so you have defined the LE and the I, and we have already obtained the PCR value, which is equal to 100 kN, and then you can proceed by substituting all these parameters into this Euler buckling load equation or Euler's formula equation. Okay, so and by simplified, you can see that the D is equal to 36 mm and the B is equal to 26 mm, which is exactly similar with the answer by using the buckling stress equation. Okay, so I think that's it for this session. So thank you for listening.